Assault Vest Groudon with Lumberry Imprison Body Press Calyrex Ice Rider is what Hirofumi, a player who has won 2 Japan National Championships, has decided to bring to the 2025 one, and it also is a team that ended up getting top 16 at the Melbourne Regional Championship. We're going to be trying it out and seeing how well it can perform. This is an interesting Sun team that debuted first at the Melbourne Regional Championship, ended up getting top 16 by a player known as Suika. And then Hirofumi made a few adjustments and brought it to the Japan National Championship. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Citrus Berry Incineroar with the Intimidate ability and the Grass Terra type with Knockoff, Flare Blitz, Fake Out, and Parting Shot. It's a pretty standard Incineroar. Intimidate, of course, great ability that is just able to lower the attack on the opposing side. The Grass Terra that's able to help out since the Incineroar is not running safety goggles. It's also able to resist the ground and water type attacks that Incineroar doesn't enjoy dealing with, while being able to play around Spore Amoonguss. You also have pretty strong damage output with both Knockoff and Flare Blitz, a bit less common, but makes more sense on a Sun team, because the Flare Blitz in Sun will actually do some pretty good damage because Incineroar has a pretty decent attack stat. Fake Out and Parting Shot, of course, great tools to pivot around and support the rest of the team. The only thing that's a little bit uncommon is the Citrus Berry. It's an item we don't see on Incineroar too much in the restricted formats, mainly because of Calyrex Shadow Rider and Calyrex Ice Rider having the Nerve ability, but it can be really good into matchups that there is no Calyrex that you're dealing with, especially like stuff like the Miraidon Lunala, Miraidon Zamazenta, and more. So it can take advantage of those matchups specifically. Otherwise, EV spread, it is a very specially defensive bulky Incineroar to be able to take on Calyrex Shadow Rider and the Lunala Moongeist Beam especially, and just has a lot of general bulk with max HP, 172 special defense with a careful nature, and 84 in its physical defense. It's able to tank attacks and just dish out a good amount of damage. And it is running 26 speed IVs on this Incineroar. This is to underspeed a few of the Incineroars that run like 29 speed IVs, so you can get a slower Parting Shot off. Next Pokemon we have is the Lumberry Calyrex Ice Rider with as 1 foot ability with the Water Terra type, just really good defensive typing, gets really strong water type moves and fire type attacks, with the Trick Room, Glacial Lance, Imprison, and Body Press. So Lumberry Calyrex Ice Rider is an interesting one. I'm assuming it's mainly to help out against 1 Amoonguss Spore, 2 the spores from Smeargle, which could actually be a pretty big deal, and then other things like potential Will-O-Wisp and just burn in general. So that's what I'm thinking the Lumberry is supposed to do, even though again there is the Shadow Rider and Ice Riders in the meta. It might not be as common, so having that Lumberry might be able to help out in more specific matchups that don't involve those restricted Pokemon. With Trick Room and Glacial Lance, strong ice type move to speed control, but running Imprison and Body Press. So this is interesting. So Imprison, of course, is a move which creates a status on the user, and your opponent is not able to use any of the moves that the Calyrex Ice Rider has. So they're not able to use Glacial Lance and Trick Room, so that could be really important for not reversing Trick Room or not setting up Trick Room on their side. Glacial Lance, of course, that means the Calyrex Ice Rider's strongest ice type move is neutered if they do have a Calyrex Ice Rider on the opposing side. And then Body Press, which mainly is going to be for Zamazenta specifically, because that is a pretty big threat, and that means this Calyrex Ice Rider is just able to make Calyrex Ice Rider miserable, because usually they run Heavy Slam in most cases, and you also have the Water Terror to help out against super effective steel moves. So the Zamazentas are not going to be able to touch your Cali Ice if you get that Imprison setup. EV spread wise, you're taking advantage of that Body Press in general. So you are going with max HP and max defense to have maximum bulk and dish out as much damage as you can with the Body Press. And that's pretty much all I have to really know. This Calyrex Ice Rider is definitely interesting. We'll see if it's going to be able to actually beat the Zamazenta teams if we do encounter them. But having a pretty bulky Calyrex Ice Rider does mean that it's really good into opposing Calyrex Ice Rider and Zamazenta, which this mon really likes dealing with. Next Pokemon we have is the Mental Herb Amoonguss to help out with like a turn of Taunt or Encore with the Regenerate ability that allows it to heal itself when switching out. With the Dark Terror type, that's good against Calyrex Shadow Rider, but also being able to resist those Ghost type moves like Lunala Moongeist Beam as well, and just being immune to the Psychic coverage as preventing the Prankster, Encores, and Taunts from affecting the Amoonguss. With Rage Powder for redirection, Spore to put opponents to sleep, Pollen Puff to heal your side of the field, and then Toxic. Now, I do want to make a few notes. One, the Amoonguss on the team that ended up getting top 16 at Melbourne by Suika did have Covert Cloak, so a Mental Herb adjustment was made. to help out again against those statuses that I mentioned before, to Toxic Amoonguss. Now, we don't really see Toxic too much. After all, you're running double status on the Amoonguss, but I think Toxic does make sense to help out with the Calyrex Ice Rider and the Groudon. So one of the things that became meta was the Leech Calyrex Ice Rider, and because you go for Imprison to shut down the Glacial Lance, sure, you're able to prevent them from doing damage, but Calyrex Ice Rider can go for Leech Seed and Protect Stall against your own Calyrex Ice Rider. So that means your Calyrex Ice Rider is actually going to be losing the 1v1 in that scenario. The Toxic actually is able to put the Calyrex Ice Rider on the opposing side on a timer if they do have that situation, and it could be helpful against like wide guard mons like Lunala, especially if they end up being passive in general. A mon that can help out against Undozel as well by going for that Toxic too. There are a few things that Toxic can help out immensely against. EV spread wise, it's especially defensive Amoonguss, max HP, 180 special defense with 76 defense. Across the board, this is just a very, very bulky Amoonguss in general, to especially take those moves that are especially oriented. Again, you have Intimidate from the Incineroar to help out on the physical side, and it's running Sassy Nature with 31 speed IVs because this allows the Amoonguss simply just to be able to underspeed the Pokemon such as the base 50s while the Trick Room is set up, so you can go for a Spore before they move in Trick Room. Next Pokemon we have is the Assault Vest Groudon with the Drought ability to summon the Sun with the Fire Terra type, a good defensive type against super effective Ice and Grass type moves, but also power up its Fire type moves with Precipice Blades, Heat Crash, High Horsepower, and Brick Break. Interesting Groudon set. Precipice Blades, of course, the spread ground type move with shaky accuracy, which is the downside of using Groudon, but it can have some good rewards. Heat Crash, a really strong fire type move based on weight, and Groudon tends to be a pretty heavy Pokemon. High Horsepower is able to be a single target ground type attack that is able to play around the wide guards, and then Brick Break is able to help out against the screens from like Pokemon like Grimmsnarl and more. So it's an interesting Assault Vest Groudon set. It's just designed really to be able to tank attacks, especially from Miraidons. You're going to be absorbing the Dazzling Gleams. You're going to be able to survive one Choice Spec Draco Meteor and just fire off some pretty strong damage. EV spread wise, it is max HP, 140 attack, and the rest is going to go into a bit of speed and special defense. Like overall, the Groudon is just going to be able to outspeed a few Pokemon, but not really. You do again have the Trick Room mode with the Calyrex Ice Rider. You can take advantage of the Icy Wind Flutter Mane to outspeed some Pokemon in the base 100s and a few a little bit above that. However, in general, it's just mainly taking attacks, having a good amount of attack damage output with the Precipice Blades, the Heat Crash, and the High Horsepower. And it's, yeah, mainly a Pokemon that can help out against Kyogre because of the Assault Vest being able to take the water spouts a bit better, especially with the sunlight. You're able to help out against a Miraidon. Specifically, that's what Assault Vest Groudon, I think, tends to do. And it's decently good into like Calyrex Shadow and Lunala because you can absorb the Moongeist Beams and Astral Barrages and fire off a pretty powerful Heat Crash in the sun with Terrifier. Next Pokemon we have is the Focus Sash Fluttermane with the Photosynthesis to give it a speed booster in the sunlight with the normal Terra type to help out against the immunity of Calyrex Shadow, Astral Barrage, and the Moongeist Beam with Protect, Icy Wind, Shadow Ball, and Moonblast. It's a pretty standard Fluttermane. The Icy Wind speed control is helpful for some scenarios where it can go for like Icy Wind and then a follow-up with Groudon or maybe the Raging Bolt. You have the Moonblast Shadow Ball that's super strong. Pretty standard Fluttermane for the most part. This is a thing that's been pretty common on some teams. The normal Terra type we saw at EUIC on this set, and that was able to do pretty well because of the fact that if they want to hit the Fluttermane with a Shadow Rider, you have to go for a Psychic, which is a single target move, which means they're not going for Astral Barrage into your partner, so your partner is not taking any damage. So that's the main reason, and not much to say other than I think in the original team, the Fluttermane did actually have Taunt over Icy Wind to shut things down. However, Icy Wind is just going to be the move of choice here instead of the Taunt, which is fair. We have the EV spread simply of just max special attack, max speed. Not much to say on a Focus Ashmon, just have the speed Photosynthesis to shout a good amount of damage and speed tie base 135s if there is no sun, and with the sunlight you're outspeeding pretty much a lot of Pokemon even under Tailwind. Final Pokemon on the team, the Life Orb Raging Bolt with the special attack Photosynthesis in the sunlight with the electric Terra type with Thunderbolt, Draco Meteor, Thunderclap, and Protect. It's a pretty standard Raging Bolt across the board. Able to do a ton of damage, running 140 HP. max special attack and some speed. This overall is just allows the Raging Bolt to dish out a ton of damage, especially with the Life Orb and the combination of the special attack booster from the Photosynthesis and Sun and the Electric Terra. Like, this Raging Bolt will get a good amount of knockouts. So it's just able to do a ton of damage across the board, be a good wall breaker, helps out against those rain dance teams or those rain teams in general. Having that water switch is always beneficial, and being able to threaten them with the priority thunderclap, and just really strong to pressure the water terrors, especially because this team doesn't have the best ways of hitting Pokemon that do have water terrestrialization and water types in general. So how to use the team? I mean, it's a straightforward balanced team. It doesn't have like immediate offense sweepers like other than Raging Bolt that's able to do a lot of damage with the Life Orb. You can go for different leads, of course. Groudon plus Raging Bolt can do a ton of damage across the board. Groudon plus Flutter Mane to get that speed booster Photosynthesis and go for like Icy Wind into Precipice Blades or Moonblast Shadow Ball and more. You have the Calyrex Ice Rider that can lead with Incineroar Amoonguss. You can lead Incineroar Amoonguss as well to set up for your Pokemon in the back. Calyrex Ice Rider plus Raging Bolt was a pretty strong lead, especially in Regulation G, but still has some pretty strong potential with that Life Orb. Just two Pokemon that are just really bulky in general that can just lead and dish out a good amount of damage with the Raging Bolt. You could cover the switches with Glacial Lands onto like the ground, as well as the Miraidons or opposing Raging Bolts that might be able to switch into the electric type moves, or maybe even grass types, as well as, or just go for the Trick Room immediately with the Calyrex Ice Rider while the Raging Bolt's getting a bunch of damage. And then you also have like Groudon Calyrex Ice Rider, which is a lead you can just go for and just fire off some spread damage, go for a Trick Room immediately, have that Sunlight to weaken any water type moves, and just dish out a good amount of damage utilizing bulky Pokemon in general. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, I'll link them down below in the description. But let me know in the comments, what do you think of the move Imprison? Because I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen it a bit more, just because of how much the format does rely on these heavy restricted Pokemon. I guess like the thing is, Miraidon would probably be the most common, and it doesn't get Imprisoned, thankfully. Otherwise, like there's Calyrex Shadow Rider, there's Zamazenta, there's Calyrex Ice Rider. A lot of popular picks do get Imprisoned. Maybe it's because we didn't have many global challenges in this format at all, so maybe it could have been more popular, but I'm kind of surprised we didn't really see it too much throughout the regulation. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Otherwise, let's get started and play some games. Lunala, Miraidon, Ursaluna, Urshifu, Volcarona, and Incineroar. Okay, interesting that there's no like Whimsicots or Tornadus. Usually you would see a Pranks or Tailwind mon over the Volcarona, so it'd be pretty interesting. I do. All right, so unfortunately, well, Lumberry could actually come into play with Cali Ice, but ironically, Groudon, of course, is going to be the superstar here. Groudon is a mon that can put in some work against this team. I got to figure out how I want to set up the Groudon though. Groudon Flutter isn't a bad lead. I don't mind it. Trying to debate on what the combo is, because there's a lot of ways I could approach this. I don't really like the Raging Bolt because there's Ursaluna. I don't think it's necessary otherwise. I think I probably want to go. Thing is, I don't even like Cali Ice. I just don't think Cali Ice does anything here. I think Instant Groudon isn't too bad. Or Groudon Flutter. I like Groudon Flutter a lot. It puts on a lot of pressure. And then I think I like Instant Amoonguss back, because a lot of this game, Groudon does so well against this team. I just got to position it well. So I think that's going to be the call. Let's see what my opponent decides to go here, because as long as I beat the Miraidon, I should be fine, but we'll find out. We're going to see Miraidon Volcarona. So this is actually pretty okay lead, because I do lead the Flutter Mane plus the Groudon, and this is a pretty strong combination for me, because I do threaten Icy Wind and the Precipice Blades. I threaten Moonblast immediately. There's a lot that could just go on here. Ooh, Electric Seed on the Volcarona. Okay. Electric Seed on Volcarona. I guess it's not too surprising. We do get the Drought up. I'm not exactly 100% certain if I just want to throw off an Icy Wind. I probably just go for Precipice Blades. But the thing is, I'm not faster than Miraidon. I am faster than Volcarona. I don't know if that's worth it, though. It could be if they go for like a Will-O-Wisp or something. I think the best play is just to go for a Moonblast into the slot and just draw off a Precipice Blades immediately. I don't think that's awful. and I will go for it because I do need the damage. We're gonna see Rage Powder come out. Okay, that's fine. So the Volcarona is going to take some damage from the Moonblast. Kind of curious they didn't actually go for a... They Volt Switch? Oh, they Draco Meteor, but missed a Draco. But we're going to miss the Blades, watch. Yeah, like, I knew it. I knew it. Okay, we missed the Volcarona though. We didn't miss the Miraidon. I don't know, man. Like, what if I just Icy Wind there? I mean, I'm clicking Icy Wind this turn because there's no reason not to, and I'm just clicking Precipice Blades, but... I was a Assault Vest, so I do live one Draco Meteor. But I'm shocked by that was their decision there. I'm shocked by that was their decision. But yeah, we just get a free Icy Wind into Precipice Place. They don't have a switch. And I mean, I kept a Groudon healthier than I thought I was going to. But you know what? We'll take it. They're going to try again. They kind of are like, oh, I need to get rid of this Groudon with Draco Meteor. We do hit the Icy Wind though. So we will hit the Icy Wind on the Miraidon for the knockout, and we will get a single target Blaze off into Volcarona, which is absolutely lovely. So we'll definitely take that. Maybe I could have went for Terrifier Heat Crash. We miss again. We miss again. You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad because this is just how we play it sometimes. We're gonna see Incineroar come in, which is cool. I think I don't. Fluttermane's nice, but it's not necessary. I kind of just want to get damage into Volcarona. So I'm just going to draw off a Shadow Ball and swap into Incineroar, which is pretty safe for the most part. I don't want to really risk my Groudon when I don't need to now. A Groudon is just super healthy at this point. I mean, here's the thing. If they hit the Draco Meteor, the thing is, like, the only thing that changes, like, Groudon is maybe at, like, 20 to 25%, but... I don't like it. Wouldn't have changed too much with how I play this because I do have Pollen Puff Instant and a few others that were, or Pollen Puff Amoonguss. Imagine Pollen Puff Instant, that would be broken. But yeah, I think like at the end of the day, I still have enough tools left where I don't think this is that big of a deal. They go for the Terra and go for Terastization with the Ghost Terra. Okay. Are they going for an attack into my Flutter then? Shadow Ball gonna come out into the Volcarona. Good damage. They go for Fiery Dance to target down my Incin. Okay. And they Flare Blitz. So I think they were just praying that they were able to KO the Groudon with the double up, but it did not work out. Now I'm just able to go for a... I go for a knockoff. I think I just Shadow Ball the Incin and I knock off the Incin. I'm not really too worried about the Volcarona. Battle gonna be forfeit. They kind of realized, yeah, this is not a great spot. And you know what? I don't even know how to score this because I was like, oh, I was gonna make a joke about like Groudon 1 or Selfless Groudon 1 and Miraidon 0. But the thing is, any Groudon would have been able to win that because I dodged a Draco. But you know what? That's just how Pokemon sometimes goes. That's what happens when we have these very high powerful attacks with not the greatest accuracy in the world. You will be missing some eventually. All right, we have Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Terapagos, Chi-Yu, Smeargle, Whimsicott, and Iron Hands. This is a team that Ashley and Bruno used to get day 2 at NIC. Yes. Okay. It's kind of tough. It's actually pretty tough. Groudon is pretty good, but Smeargle, not exactly the funnest matchup. I think I could probably play out okay though. I'm gonna do Groudon plus Fluttermane, I think, with endgame wise Entity and the Cali Ice, or Incineroar plus Cali Ice. Raging Bolt doesn't really accomplish too much other than Thunderclap. I don't think that's good enough. I kind of need damage with the Groudon. The Assault Vest Groudon will be able to tank the special attacks on the bright side, which is good, and draw off some pretty decent damage. And then Fluttermane Icy Wind, of course, for the speed control is great, especially against Smeargle Terapagos. As I am not letting them go for like Decorate plus Starstorm. Like if they want to fake out Starstorm, that's fine. I mean, I don't think they're going to Wide Guard turn 1. If they Wide Guard turn 1, they got me, but I just don't think that's likely. I would like to break Terra Shell on the Terapagos as well. I have the Sun Booster Energy. We're going to go for Icy Wind into Precipice Blades. I don't even think the Smeargle had Wide Guard. Does that have Wide Guard? I don't think it did. We'll see. Because I'm pretty sure it was Fake Out, Follow Me, Decorate. Fake Out, Follow Me, Decorate, Spore. Like, that's what I'm confident it was. I'm pretty sure it didn't have Wide Guard, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to see the Terra on the Terapagos immediately, which means the Terraform Zero is going to activate, getting rid of my sun, but that's okay. Icy Wind. Nice. Okay. If we land, we're in a great position. If we land, we're in a great position. Smeargle. Okay, that's... You know, I would have loved the damage in the Terapagos, but I will take the KO on Smeargle any day of the week. Because if I got Spore, that position was awful. For Starstorm. Yeah. So this is Shadow Rider coming in for Astral and Starstorm. We're going to go Incin and Protect. Yep. As they... I mean, they can nasty plot, I suppose, but I really think they're just going to be clicking Astral plus an attack from Terapagos. This is kind of where the damage on Terapagos actually could have mattered, because I might have been able to go for a guaranteed more aggressive play in KOing the Terapagos, but we'll see. If it is the same team, it should have the Life Orb on the Terap or Life Orb on the Shadow Rider here. Yep, Astral Barrage coming out. Beautiful. It is Life Orb. Yep, confirmed. Starstorm, Instant Molybdus. And then the next turns are going to be a little bit dangerous, but playable. All right. I got to read it to Shadow. So I have the game plan of I could go to Groudon Shadow Ball, or I could Fake Out Moonblast the Terapagos into the play of the Groudon the next turn. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Fake Out the Terapagos and Moonblast the Terapagos. If I want to play this super safe, I guess I could go for a Terra Ghost or Terra Normal. I would only do that play though if I got the Precipice Blaze off in Terapagos earlier, because then Fake Out Moonblast would put the Terapagos in range of Moonblast, or would have been put in the range of another attack earlier. So... yeah, they are going to protect the Calyrex, so I did get the play right, which is beautiful. I am able to get a Fake Out into Moonblast off, which is huge. Good damage. I think I sack Instant here. Also, that Moonblast did so much damage to Terapagos. I'm surprised that did so much. All right, we're going to Parting Shot the Terapagos, and we're going to protect our Fluttermane. Oh, they stayed in with Calyrex. Okay, that's fine. Kind of surprised, but I guess they were like, okay, if I trade my Calyrex, that's okay. But I mean, I think this works. That didn't even KO Insane, which is kind of crazy. Starstorm, okay. So a lot of this is just going to come down to how much damage I do to the Terapagos with Groudon. It doesn't seem like a bulky Terapagos. All right, I think I'm okay in the long term, but no, I should be fine. I'm debating about the potentials right here. I think I have this secured. I don't know if Brick Break's enough to KO Terapagos at this range. I'm going to go for Terrifier Heat Crash, because that definitely will KO Terapagos, and I'm going to go for Shadow Ball. It covers a lot. I'm trying to set up for the Whimsicott, but even if Whimsicott comes in, the thing about Whimsicott is because I'm a Solvus Groudon, I'll be able to live the Life Orb Astral Barrage, and then Terrifier Heat Crash, because they took the Life Orb chip, will knock out the Calyrex Shadow Rider, and then I should have the game secured. So let's see. bring out the Terrifier because I want to KO on Terapagos. And I do outspeed because I did get an Icy Wind earlier. They go for Protect, which is fine. As we Shadow Ball into the Protect. And Heat Crash. Should KO Terapagos with ease. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. So Terapagos goes down, and then it's down to the last Pokemon, which is probably Whimsicott. And if it's Whimsicott, I click Shadow Ball. If it's Chi-Yu, I click Shadow... I mean, I just click Shadow Ball and Heat Crash no matter what. The Chi-Yu comes in, which is what we expect. Does Brick Break even KO Chi-Yu? Oh, maybe I do have to get a read right. I think it might come down to double type because it's Chi-Yu endgame. I'm gonna high horsepower to Chi-Yu, and I'm gonna Shadow Ball. I think this comes down to double protect. Or if they don't double protect, I should have this, I think. Okay, I get the KO on Shadow Rider because I couldn't let them Master Barrage Heat Wave. I'd rather risk it. You go for Heat Wave. Also with the Heat Wave dodge, that just secures it. Like, it wasn't KOing Groudon. We had a Sulfus Groudon. The Terrifier also would have made the resist. We definitely would have easily survived that. Did we hit high horsepower though? Because that's a big important part. We do hit the high horsepower. We KO'd the Chi-Yu. Good game. Okay. A little bit tough because it's like if you get one bad turn against that team, like they have the damage output of Astral Barrage and the Choice Spec Starstorm, especially next to Chi-Yu. It can be dangerous, but thankfully was able to get like a lot of the... I mean, I got a lot of the calls, right? The big one was just to call in to protect. And then next turn, like sacking my instant to get the Groudon in. And then just going for the Heat Crash Shadow Ball, which was safe into... No, Shadow Ball just came down to the Calyrex Ice Rider to get protect. But I kind of had to risk it at that point, you know? We have Urshifu Miraidon with Grimmsnarl, Calyrex Ice Rider, Volcarona, and Iron Hands. Alright, so this shouldn't be too bad. You have a lot of fairy weeks. I kind of like Fluttermane Groudon a lot. I don't really like Cali Ice too much. I think I'm going to do Fluttermane Groudon. I think it's pretty strong for what it is. Am I bring a Amoonguss? I don't think so. Unless I want to rely heavily on Groudon to win, which I don't think I do. I think I'd rather just bring Raging Bolt Instant. Cali Ice does not do, I think, enough here to justify it because it only really affects the Miraidon. And I guess I could imprison their Cali Ice, but I don't think I'm going to go for that game plan. I'm just going to throw off some attacks and see how well it can perform. If they bring Grimmsnarl, I have Brick Break, which is great, but we'll see. Gonna be Volcarona Miraidon. I'm getting deja vu. I feel like I'm getting deja vu. Didn't this happen? I'm pretty sure this happened. Electric Seed Volcarona. Is this? There's no way it's the same player. There's no way it was the same player. Okay. We're gonna go for Icy Wind and we're gonna go for Blades, I think. I went for Moonblast last time. I'm just gonna Icy Wind and Precipice Blades this time. Get as much damage as I possibly can. There's really not much to say about it. We're gonna see the Miraidon retreat, okay? Into Calyrex Ice Rider, that's fine. Kinda wish I threw off a Moonblast or Shadow Ball, but granted, I don't think this is that bad. We do get an Icy Wind off into the Volcarona and the Calyrex. Okay, it's not Clear Amulet, which is actually really good to know. Precipice Blade's gonna come out. Good damage. Tailwind. Sure. Don't know why it's Tailwind, but I'll take it. I'm just gonna throw off Shadow Ball, I think, and go Instant. I could Protect, I guess, go Instant too. That also works. Yeah, no, that also works. Because then I could threaten Flare Blitz and Shadow Ball the next turn, or knock off Shadow Ball. I have a bunch of plays. So we know that's leftovers Cali Ice. We see the Terrestrialization committed. Okay, Cali Ice, I'm assuming. I do have Raging Bolt in the back, so I can Thunderclap if this is Terra Water. Yeah, it's Terra Water. Okay, perfect. As we protect Fluttermane, this is probably Glacial and the Fire move, I'm assuming. Struggle Bug, that's perfect. Okay. As they go for Glacial, this won't do much because of the Intimidate. Curious if they protect or not. I feel like the answer is no, but at the end of the day, I don't see a problem with throwing off attacks like a Shadow Ball into the Volcarona slot and a Fake Out also into the Volcarona. Yeah. Not really worried about the Cali Ice damage output at the moment. They're not going to protect. I do get a Fake Out off. Okay, cool. I get a Shadow Ball. Oh, they Leech Seed my Fluttermane. Interesting choice. Okay. I think next turn I would want to Shadow Ball the Volcarona because Glacial lands. I mean, it's questionable if it KOs with the next Leech Seed round because of the Intimidate from earlier. But I do want a Parting Shot the Cali Ice because I need to get in like Groudon or Raging Bolt safely so I can actually threaten the Cali Ice. Luckily, the Miraidon can't Terra, which is also beneficial. No protects, so I do get the Shadow Ball KO into Volcarona. So Volcarona goes down. No Tailwind for them in the rest of the games. Oh, wait, I'm faster. That's weird. Who can afford to take damage more, Groudon or Raging Bolt? If I get crit, this is really bad. I think that this is a Raging Bolt angle. Just don't get crit. Okay. They Trick Room. That's actually really good for me. Because now Raging Bolt under Trick Room is actually super threatening to them. Because once I Terra Electric, they won't have the super effective attack that they can go for. And I threaten the Cali Ice. I threaten the Miraidon. So I'm feeling pretty good about my spot. That could have been dangerous. I didn't think, even though they were -1 Cali Ice, I didn't think they were outspeeding. Like my Instant would still outspeed. Iron Hand's coming out, which makes sense. Kind of have to make a read. If they get the read, it's kind of annoying, but for the most part, I don't see a problem with protecting and switching to Instant, as they are going to swap out actually into the Miraidon, which is interesting. So what are they clicking? Wall Charge, or are they clicking? I think they click Wall Charge in this position, which is fine. Instant comes in for the Intimidate into Iron Hands. If they click Drain Punch or Low Kick Read into Instant, I got a free switch to Groudon if they KO, and then I just get to spam Precipice Blades and Thunderbolt, so I don't think it's too bad. Okay, Low Kick my Raging Bolt. Okay. Sunlight fades and Electric Terrain about to disappear as well. Okay. Got a lot that could go on here. I think my best play is just to swap out Instant into Fluttermane and just go for a Draco Meteor into Miraidon. Because their plays, they could low kick my Bolt. It doesn't do too much damage. They could try to get damage to Incin, which I think is fine because I can get another round of Intimidate. They could switch out the Miraidon into the Calyrex Ice, which I think is cool. They wall charge. Why did they? Oh, they expected me to switch a Flutter on that slot. Okay. But I have a Draco Meteor for the Miraidon, which just take the knockout. And now I'm in a great spot because Incin's going to be in such a great position. The hands is stuck at -1. I can go Incin, draw off an Intimidate. And I could protect the Calyrex Ice or protect Flutter Mane on the Glacial, but I think I kind of just want free damage at this point into the Iron Hands. So I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna go Incin and just Moonblast. If they take the KO, I don't even think it's that bad. Then I can get in Groudon. I can just draw off some Terrifier high horsepowers into the Iron Hands, and then once Trick Room's over, Thunderbolt's the Calyrex Ice cleanup. Like, I just don't want them to get a low kick into Glacial Lance right into my Incin slot. A low kick. I take it with ease. I do Glacial. I think Flutter survives. Oh, it does not. Okay, Flutter goes down. That's fine. I have a few options. I think Raging Bolt is always correct, though. Yeah, no, Raging Bolt's always correct. Last turn a Trick Room. Yeah, no, this is fine. I just protect the Raging Bolt and I fake out the Calyrex Ice. No, this is correct, yeah. The reason I think this is correct is because then next turn I can go for Terra Electric T-Bolt into the Calyrex Ice and it will definitely KO. And if they KO the Incin like that, that's perfect because now I get Groudon in for free. I click high horsepower into Thunderbolt and I pretty much have this game sealed because they can't do any damage here. I don't know if I need to Terra Electric to guarantee. It's Life Orb Protosynth. No way, right? I know Calyrex Ice is bulky, but this is Life Orb Photosynthesis. There's no way. Like, I'm just preparing for a dumb end game if I get crit with the Raging Bolt here. Although I don't think crit low kick will KO because there's no booster on the Iron Hand. So I'm going for Thunderbolt. It's Life Orb. It's Life Orb in the sun. Super effective. There's no way it doesn't KO. I'm throwing off a high horsepower. They're going to protect anyway, yeah. We get the high horsepower into Iron Hands. That actually just one-shots the Iron Hand. Okay, it's a crit. I mean, granted, the only thing that mattered was me not getting crit. If I didn't get crit, I guarantee win there. So, like, no matter what, I was fine. So now I can just Thunderbolt, and I can go for a... I mean, I Terra Electric Thunderbolt now because it guarantees to win. The only reason I didn't Terra my Groudon was in case I needed it, but the Terrifier. But I mean, I probably was losing the lead to Calyrex anyway if that was the case. But yeah, doesn't matter what we click, I guess. We'll go for Precipice Blades because I want to see the damage. But yeah, I think I was able to position well. Mostly the fact that I was able to get the Draco Meteor KOs. The Flutter Mane calc was the only misstep, but I mean, at the end of the day, I got a free switch to Raging Bolt. That way I could pressure the Calyrex, so I don't even mind it too much because as long as I pressured the Calyrex, I was in a good spot. Anytime to miss Blades in this video is now, Groudon. Anytime to miss Blades is now, so that's fine. You're excused. Thunderbolt gonna KO the Calyrex. Blown up. Terra Electric. Life Orb. Special attack booster. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm pretty sure I didn't need to Terra Electric to KO, but I will just in case. But yes. Okay. Seriously, was that deja vu? Was that deja vu? I'm just trying to figure it out. I really want to know. All right, we have Lunala, Zamazenta, the Incineroar, Raichu, And Amoonguss. Did I say Ursulon? I can't remember if I did. It is just too hot to think about if I remember what I said. Okay. I don't think I'm bringing Raging Bolt here. I don't think Raging Bolt's good. Fluttermane, Groudon are pretty tempting. Amoonguss is pretty decent. Incineroar should be brought always. I think Incineroar, Cali Ice are definitely the mons I'm bringing, especially the Imprison, Cali Ice. The rest, I'm not sure. I feel like I need Amoonguss if I want to break through this team, though. So I think my play here is... I'm bringing Groudon. Do I just bring Flutter is the question. I don't need Flutter, but... yeah, I guess this is a game without Flutter. I think I'm going to do Cali Ice, Incin with Amoonguss and Groudon back. Because as much as I want Flutter to Shadow Ball their Lunala, which would make my life, I think, a lot easier, I don't think I can do that. I'm trying to figure out if it's Meteor Beam on the Lunala, because that's going to be difficult. Okay, they lead Zamazenta plus the Amoonguss. This actually works out pretty well for me. Okay. Would they risk the Amoonguss turn 1? I don't know. I think my best play is just to go for an Imprison with my Cali. And I think go out into my Amoonguss. So I could fake out here, but I don't think fake out's necessary because I think if they body press, they're going to target the Incineroar and the Cali Ice. I'm just kind of curious on how the next couple turns are going to go because I definitely attempt to Spore. You can't really do much to my Cali Ice. I mean, here I think you always Spore. You could Spore Wide Guard, which is what I'm considering, which is why I'm not going for Glacial this turn. I kind of wish I could, but yeah, we bring out the Amoonguss. You see Terastallization immediately. Is this Amoonguss? Oh, that's good for me, actually. That's very good for me. Because now the Amoonguss is no longer immune to Spore, so I can Spore the Amoonguss. It's Substitute Zamazenta. Well, at least they can't body press anymore. Oh, boy. It would be such a shame if Cali Ice fell asleep right here. These techs, man. These techs. Okay. Well, they probably don't have Wide Guard, I imagine. I'm just going to body press to break the thing, and I'm just going to Sporty Moon Slot. If they Heavy Slam, like, sure. It doesn't do that much damage. Snarl? What does that accomplish here? It doesn't really accomplish that much. So I'm okay with this here. I got a Rage Powder, but I don't think this is necessary. I do need to find a way to start breaking through things. Body Press gonna come out. Did we break the sub? Definitely with a crit. I was trying to figure out if it broke sub naturally, but sure. Sub is broken. And our Amoonguss goes before theirs. Okay. Problem is this is going to be a weird spot. This is going to be a weird spot. I can body press Spore the slot. I mean, the thing is, it's just trying to figure out what I can accomplish out of this position. I'm going to body press Spore to Zamazenta. They could sub again. I want to see if body press broke the sub because I want to confirm if this is a play that I had the next turn. But we'll see. They do go for a substitute again, so I should be able to get a body press plus Spore off, I'm pretty sure. I think this should break the sub. Problem is I haven't got to any damage onto Amoonguss. Okay, sub is faded. Nice. And we got a Spore off. They wake up. Oh, we just speed time with our Amoongusses. That's funny. Okay. Although I don't think this is that bad because Cali taking sleep turns is fine because we get Spore off into the Zamazenta. Are they going to Pollen Puff here? I think I'm just going to throw off a Toxic into the Amoonguss. They're probably just going to Pollen Puff the Zamazenta, and then we're going to play this rotation. Because I have Toxic, the Amoonguss is going to be on a timer. This is going to be a long one, isn't it? This is going to be a long one. Yep. Snarl Substitute Zamazenta is crazy, by the way. All right. We get the Toxic off into the Amoonguss. This will put the Amoonguss on the timer. And then I think we Spore the Amoonguss the next turn as a Pollen Puff. Yep. I think I'm going to Glacial here. Glacial and Spore seems pretty safe into Amoonguss. If they decide to swap out the Zamazenta, they lose the defense boost, which is actually really big. They do switch out the Amoonguss. Perfect. What's coming in? Incineroar? Yeah, okay. So are they safety goggles? Because that's going to be an important factor. They're going to stay asleep with the Zamazenta, or Calyrex is going to stay asleep. And we do get the Spore off. Okay. So I am going to body press the Incin, and I think I'm going to go for a... This is just so funny of a game. I think I'm just going to go Incin. There's no way you switch out to Zamazenta this turn into Lunala. I just doubt it, yeah. I'm going to go my Incin to get Intimidated off into their Incin, and then we're just going to start cycling. Because as long as we're starting getting damage with Body Press, I think we're good. Zamazenta wakes up. Just Substitute again. Yeah. I don't care about the Sub-Zama. It's like they're trying to accomplish so much with the Sub-Zama, but the Sub-Zama does nothing in this matchup. Okay. I think I'm ready to just Body Press and Parting Shot the Incin. Because like this Zama can just stay in to do whatever it wants. But if it can't Body Press, it's not doing anything. Like Snarl's not going to do much. I'm trying to figure out if its last move is Protect, which it probably is. But yeah. Like even Heavy Slam would have done damage, but then again I would have probably had... I mean, it's 2 Intimidates now. The thing is, the longer they keep the Zama on the field, the more it's a 2v1 situation. I just got to focus on the other slot. Because I think the Zama would do work later on in the game. But yeah. They go for Snarl. Maybe I should have Parting Shot the Zama just so I was able to get the special attack drop. Snarl, I mean, it's okay damage, but it's not really doing too... Oh, it wakes up. They just Parting Shot though, so this is fine. What's nice is Body Press damage isn't affected here. We're gonna have a really long one, aren't we? Oh, they bring out Lunala. Okay, so the Parting Shot was worth it in Lunala. Okay. That's good. That is good. I mean, this is going to be a slow, methodical game for the most part. Bring in the Amoonguss. Callie wakes up. Ironically, one of the worst timings, but sure. Just going to break the Shao Shield on the Lunala. I'm fine with committing my Terra Water here, and I'm just going to Spore the Lunala. Lunala can't pick up a knockout unless... It has to be some crazy set in order to... Well, the Zamazenta is already crazy. What if this Lunala has something insane? Lunala going to retreat into Amoonguss? That's fine. Yeah. The longer Amoonguss is in, the longer it takes this poison damage. They go for the Terra Water. I mean, I know there's not much happening, but sometimes this is like the games we play until I figure out, like, it's just going to come down to, are they going to be able to eliminate Cali Ice soon? That's basically how it's going to go. With the Terra Water, the Snarls are just not doing anything. And I get the Glacial Lands off. Beautiful. 4 fails. They're taking poison. I'm just gonna body press the moon, and I'm just gonna go for a Rage Powder. This Rage Powder will redirect the spores from the Amoonguss now that's water typing. And yeah, I don't really see too much that they can do here, because I build up damage into Moon to out damage the Regenerator. That's what I'm trying for. Snarl. It's just so funny because they really cannot do much here. Body press. The damage is actually good. Yeah. They probably switch out the Amoonguss now. Ensign? Because I don't think you can really risk Amoonguss staying in. Because if I go for Rage Powder Body Press again, the Amoonguss is lost. And then I think you're in a really awful spot. Let's see. And if the worst case is they stay in and Spore, like the Amoonguss is taking quite a bit of damage. I get a free Pollen Puff turn into my Cali Ice. This is the thing, again, because they're staying in with the Zamazenta that doesn't accomplish anything, they are just losing out on so much momentum. I think this is Lunala always, but we'll see. Oh, they actually went Ensign. Because I could have body pressed that slot, but that's fine. It's so funny. This Zamazenta is so funny. It's so funny. Just seeing this Imprison. Like, it's been like, what, 10 minutes into this game, and the damage just feels unreal. Like, there's like been no damage accomplished. Go back to sleep, Ensign. It's like a lullaby. Just go back to sleep. Okay. I'm gonna body press the Zama, and I think I'm gonna Pollen Puff the Cali Ice. Because healing the Cali Ice is nice. They're gonna retreat to Ensign. I don't know if this is a Moon or if this is Lunala. I know it's one of the two. Yeah, back to Moon makes sense. But they're just not doing anything. They are just not doing anything. Body press into the Zama. We'll get rid of the substitute. And now I can go for a Pollen Puff. I didn't want to body press the Ensign because I didn't know if they were going to swap to Lunala that turn. So I just took the guaranteed break to sub at least, because it puts on some pressure. I mean, the Rage Powder is super obvious, I think. I'm just going to Spore the Moon and just go for a body press here. If okay, they finally decide to switch out to the slot into the Lunala. Okay, so they finally are taking this seriously. I do get the body press off into the Amoonguss. The Spore is going to go into that slot, which is fine. And they go for Pollen Puff. Okay, so they're trying to chip away the Amoonguss. Does Meteor Beam even KO? I feel like this has to be Meteor Beam. The question is, I don't know if the Amoonguss survives Meteor Beam. I feel like it might. I'm going to body press the Moon slot because they can't really do much, and I'm just going to Spore the attempt to the Lunala. All right, it is Meteor Beam. Okay. Let's see if Amoonguss survives. The special defensive Amoonguss. The thing is, I don't live +1 Moongeist Beam for sure, so Meteor Beam is my best odds here. Yeah, I do survive here. That's what I thought. Body press coming out into the Moon. Brings it low. And I get the Spore off into Lunala. That's so big. Also, they don't have a way to hit Ensign anymore. Like, all of the ways to hit Ensign are now gone. You go for Pollen Puff. Doesn't even KO Moon. Yeah, this is really rough for them. Because they lost their Amoonguss. There's probably like 7 minutes on the timer. I don't know if I'll need them all the time, but this is looking really good. Because they are going to bring out Zama. Cool. Let's go for a Trick Room here and swap to Ensign. Probably going to be forfeit. Yeah. Imprison Calyrex Ice. Imprison Calyrex Ice. It's funny because I think the game is so different with against a Shadow Rider, but Lunala doesn't run psychic moves, made it easier for Amoonguss. Not the most engaging gameplay, but I was able to just, as you saw, just bully the Zamazenta. I am not a big fan of what they did to Zamazenta this gen. I think bullying it is justified. Groudon, Miraidon, Ditto, Iron Hands, Raging Bolt, and Whimsicott. Okay. Groudon Mirror. Their team's a lot weaker to Groudon than my team is. Sure. I think I'm going to do Groudon plus... I bring Calyrex Ice. Calyrex Ice is decent in this, but I'm not sure. What's funny is if I bring Calyrex Ice, there can definitely be Imprison stuff. There can definitely be some Imprison stuff. I think I'm going to do Groudon plus Instant lead. I don't think that's a terrible lead here. This is probably Rising Voltage stuff, so I got to be careful because calcs on Rising Voltage are insane. But luckily I do have a Groudon. If I'm going to do Instant plus Groudon, I think Calyrex Ice in the back. I'm going to bring Flutter. The reason I'm going to bring Flutter is because if they decide, hey, I'm going to drop a Draco Meteor into the Groudon turn 1, I can switch into Flutter, and that would actually give me a lot of momentum. So we'll see how this goes. But yes, I got to be careful about, I mean, most of the things I had to be careful about involved the Miraidon. So if I'm able to get rid of Miraidon early, that would be super ideal. Luckily, I do have a Groudon and Calyrex Ice team, so Miraidon will be scared. I need to get the Imprison off first, though. If I don't get the Imprison into their Ditto, if I don't get the Imprison with Calyrex Ice first before like they bring in Ditto, if they decide to bring Ditto, it's really bad. It is really bad because then I won't be able to, then it might come down to speed type between the Imprisons, which is bad. We're gonna see Groudon plus the Miraidon late, okay, versus the Groudon and Instant on my side. Okay, let's see if you're clear ammo on the Groudon or you have a different item. All right. So my Groudon's faster. Good to note. Intimidate going to go off. Is clear aim the Groudon? Sure. I could fake out Precipice Blades, which I think is okay. I'm a bit worried that they swap out a Ditto for the Miraidon. I think I'm just going to go for Precipice Blades though, and we're going to go for fake out. They do retreat the Miraidon because they don't want to lose Miraidon to fake out Precipice Blades, and we're going to see the Ditto come out. Okay, yeah, that's what I expect. Okay. Double Groudons. 3 Groudons on the field and an Instant. The Groudon is definitely... Oh, come on. He actually got some beautiful damage. All right. So I'm going to Terra and go for Terra Grass with my Instant. I think. Yeah, that's the play. We're going to go for Precipice Blades. Or not Terra to Groudon. We Precipice Blades. I really hope this isn't a roll on Ditto because I think what I want to do is I parting shot out the Ditto. Because what I want to accomplish is getting Calyrex Ice and fake out the Groudon and then Trick Room with Calyrex Ice. Since it's clear I'm like Groudon, it's probably Heat Crash, which makes it easier, but we'll see. Precipice Blades, we miss. Okay, we missed the Groudon again. The mon I want to damage, man. At least I didn't crit their Groudon. Okay, we're just missed my Groudon. Of course, they missed the Instant, which I Terra to avoid it, but whatever. This is just such a funny game. We get a parting shot off. And now we go for Cali Ice. Here we go for Cali Ice. I could go Flutter too, but Flutter makes no sense in this position. Yeah, no, I go Cali Ice. Do I Glacial or do I just Trick Room is the question. I think I just Blades, and I think I do just Glacial. I don't need to Imprison anymore because the Ditto is so low on HP at this point. Yeah. Because if they KO my Groudon, then I get a free switch into my instant, and then I could fake out Glacial, threaten the Miraidon. I don't think this is awful. I think the only way this becomes awful is if Groudon protects on their side. But my Groudon has won every single speed tie. But this one is the important one. So I do get a double knockout. It's just so funny seeing triple Groudon, man. Please land your Precipice Blades in my Groudon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank goodness. Okay. So that is beautiful. We do get a Glacial Lance off into the Groudon, and now we have a +1 Cali Ice. So, you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. They didn't Terra because I guess they want to say Terra for the Miraidon. I'm curious on what the Miraidon Terra is, but we are going to go instant, so we threaten to fake out. Especially if the Iron Hands comes in. Miraidon back in. Raging Bolt. Okay. The Scary Mon. That's the Scary Mon. I can't protect, though. That's the problem. What am I most scared of? The Rising Voltage or the Electro Drift? Ah, this is going to be tough. Did I have to Trick Room that last one? I might have had to. I thought it was hands back. That's why I didn't Trick Room. I guess I should have Trick Roomed, because if I Trick Roomed, I think I was in a better spot. I think we just go for a fake out Glacial here. All right, we see a Terra who's Terraing. Miraidon Ghost. Fairy, okay. That's fine. It really just depends on what they lock into. Fake out. Wait, they gleamed. What? Oh, they 100% lose. Citrus Berry gonna heal. I was not expecting Gleam. I thought they read Electro Drift. Because Groudon was the only ground type I had. Groudon was the only ground type I had, so I'm shocked. But they gave me the Raging Bolt. I knew that they were going to be tacking. I thought they were just going to double up the Cali with double electric moves. That worked out beautifully. I think next turn would have been confusing because it was just going to come down to Flutter and Moonblast KOing, but this works out really well. No, I don't Flare Blitz my own Cali. I Flare Blitz the Miraidon and I Glacial. Okay. Gleam could KO both, but... Actually... This was not optimal. This was not optimal. The best play was to switch out Incident to the Flutter that had Sash available and Moonblast, because then I get Fake Out plus Moonblast damage. I mean, I think Flutter KOs the Miraidon at that range anyway, but let's see. Oh no, yeah, we should definitely KO the Miraidon. Also, they have to be max speed and then win the speed tie the next turn if they survive the Moonblast, but yeah, it's just enough to KO the Miraidon. Okay. What a funny game. What a funny game. Just absolutely funny in general. I think I could have probably had a safer position, but yeah, I should have triggered. The thing is, I really thought Iron Hands was in the back, and if Iron Hands was in the back, I think it changed it completely, because that's why I didn't Trick Room, because I was worried about the Iron Hands under Trick Room doing too much damage to me. But it wasn't in the back. If it was Raging Bolt, I should always Trick Room. If it was Iron Hands like I was expecting, and I think not Trick Room is correct. But okay. Funny, 3 Groudons on one screen. Calyrex Ice Rider, Landis Incarnate, Urshifu, Grimmsnarl, and Incineroar Miraidon. A pretty classic 6. The one that won U-Track. How do I want to approach this matchup? Groudon, the Landis is going to be concerning. I think I bring Cali Ice for sure. I definitely bring Cali Ice. I bring Flutter because Flutter's not bad, but it's not necessary. The problem if I don't bring Flutters, I don't have a Draco switch. But I don't need Moonblast too much in this matchup. I Brick Break for screens. Okay. I think I'm just gonna do Cali Ice Incin. Problem with leading Cali Ice Incin is if they lead Incin. Actually, no, yeah, I'm gonna lead Cali Ice Incin. Amoonguss in the back and the Groudon, I think. I think this is the best call. The problem is the Miraidon. It just really comes down to what they lock into immediately. That's going to be a big one. The Landers is also just such a big problem Pokemon. It's going to be able to do a lot. In Terra Water, I don't have the best ways of damaging it. That wasn't my... what's it called? My Raging Bull. But they lead... They lead the Grimmsnarl plus the Grimmsnarl plus the Miraidon versus Cali Ice Incin. I think that this is a pretty good lead for me. I want to fake out Glacial Lance. Are you going to be Covert Cloak Miraidon? Are you going to be swapping out into your Cali Ice? I feel like you should not attack here, realistically. I really want to knock off the Miraidon. I kind of want to knock off Miraidon, go out into Groudon. A little bit tricky. I need Cali Ice healthy or I'm losing to Delando. I think I'm going to go Groudon. I don't think they Draco Meteor immediately my Cali Ice. I'm going to knock off in case they Volt Switch with Miraidon. This also could be like Covert Cloak Grim. There's so much that could come out of this turn. They Reflect, which is cool. What did the Miraidon click? Volt? Nice. That's really good, actually. That's really good. They're going to knock off into the Miraidon and get rid of its choice specs, which is cool. All right. Well, not a bad turn. Not a bad turn. I could go Amoonguss if I want. Or I could just stay in and click Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz to Grim and Brick Break ain't a bad play here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to Brick Break and Flare Blitz. They Volt Switch here, which is fine. They can't really switch out a Cali Ice if they have it. They could go Instant if they want to, but that's fine. I eat my Citrus Berry, which is nice because I wouldn't have gotten that if Cali Ice was in already. Let's see who they're coming at, but I don't think you ever risk Cali Ice here. Like, I really don't think you should go Cali Ice. Instant, yep, that makes sense. Perfect. I might not KO the Grimmsnarl, but I get a bunch of damage off and I get rid of one of the screens. So Brick Break, goodbye your Reflect, and the Flare Blitz in the Sun, even with Intimidate, I should still be doing a good amount of damage. Okay. Good damage. Thinking about... They don't fake out the Incin. I'm going to Parting Shot just Precipice Blades, I think, here. Get the damage that I need. They're going to get another Reflect Up, which is fine. I don't mind them getting Reflect Up. Let's see what the Incin clicked. Is it going to be Parting Shot again, or are they going to do something else? I do get a good Precipice Blades off. I don't KO the Grim, which is actually nice. They knock off my Assault Vest. I don't think that's that big of a deal, as we do get a Parting Shot off. Okay. Because I got rid of their specs on the Miraidon, I don't think I need my Assault Vest on the Groudon nearly as much in this game. So this works out pretty well. I don't have any mons for protect. That's a problem. Who did I reveal? I revealed Calyrex Ice, right? Yeah. Because I let Calyrex Ice. I don't want to reveal Amoonguss yet, so I'm just going to go into Calyrex Ice. Gonna go Imprison and just throw off a... Do I want a Brick Break or do I want a Blades? I think Brick Break is correct. I think Brick Break is correct. Because I want to do the maximum amount of damage as possible with my later attacks. Like, even if I get a Blades off an Imprison, I think the damage we already saw wasn't that great, but once I can start going for Precipice Blades, I think it's pretty good. A Thunder Wave, which is beautiful here. Awesome. I had a Lumberry, ironically, so didn't really matter too much. But we do KO the Grimmsnarl, and the Reflect is now off the table. So no screens. Grimmsnarl not doing much, which is fantastic. A U-turn, so it is probably choice. That's why I thought about going for potential body press, but I was not risking Flare Blitz there. Flare Blitz would have been disastrous. They're going to go Calyrex Ice. Ooh, could get spooky. Imprison, okay. I have no idea what their speed tiers are. I think this is a plan. I have to Terra Water to Calyrex Ice now, which is fine of a game plan. As long as they don't Flare Blitz my Groudon, because that'd be a super strong play if they make that play. I think I fake out the Cali and swap to Calyrex Ice. Let's see what they decide to do. Is it fake out the Imprison and Glacial? Or is it something else? Okay, they fake out my Imprison. I think I'm going down to Glacial. I don't know if Toxic Amoonguss is correct, though. Okay. Unfortunately, I think my Calyrex is probably faster than theirs, but we'll see. Yeah, because I'm in speed. I'm trying to figure out what the best call is. I think it's go Amoonguss. I wish I had Protect now. I wish I had Protect over Toxic. We're gonna go Amoonguss. I guess we Rage Powder. I guess we don't have to Terra yet. We go for Rage Powder and we go for Trick Room. Yes. Actually, this might not have been the call. It depends on if they Flare Blitz or they U-turn. I think if they U-turn, I definitely go for the... Okay, they did U-turn. Perfect. Okay, so this is Miraidon. They don't have a specs available, but it's still spooky. I am risking their Calyrex Ice having speed, but I imagine you should have some speed with Thunder Wave on the Grim. They don't usually run min speed. Go for Glacial, yep. Problem is their Calyrex Ice is now a very, very threatening monster, but it can only high horsepower. We get a Trick Room up. We go into Groudon, summon the sun. We get a Precipice Blades off. We Imprison. If it's a speed tie, I mean, I just don't think it's a speed tie. I really don't think so. Precipice Blades and Imprison. We're gonna switch out Miraidon to Imprison. Yep, makes the most sense here. All right. pretty good. As we get the Imprison, they should be wasting a turn going for Glacial or maybe reverse Trick Room. Yep, perfect. We land the Blades, which is great. I don't know if we KO'd the Instant. Oh, wait. Oh, leftovers Cali Ice means it's Leech Seed. That's bad. This is gonna come down super close. I'm gonna body press the Instant and go for a attack. They go for fake on the Groudon. I get the K on the Instant. I needed a Toxic off into the Cali Ice. I guess I should have Terra Darked earlier, but I don't know. No, but I would have been going down a U-turn plus a Glacial Land, so I don't know. That'd be tough. I'm losing to the Cali Ice, aren't I? Because I'm just getting Leech Seeded here. Yeah, I'm just gonna get screwed over by Leech Seed. Can I play for timer? No, there's like 10 minutes on the clock. There's no way I can play for timer. We go for Precipice Blades and we go for Glacial. I don't know who they're going to Terra. They might save the Terra for the Cali Ice. I mean, if you Terra the Miraidon, I think it goes down. Okay. Let's see. Do you survive Glacial Lands at -1 into Precipice Blades at -1? We'll see. They did take damage earlier, so we'll find out. Glacial Lance. Yeah, I don't think it does. Leech Seed. Oh, I missed Blades. You know what? If we have to end it on the... I think this game was a lost cause anyway because I was losing the Leech Seed Cali Ice. It completely skipped my mind that it was Leech Seed Cali Ice. I think the big point was just maybe I should have sacked Amoonguss earlier to bring an Instant. I don't know. It was just tough because of the fact that Amoonguss didn't really get to do what I wanted to accomplish, which was get Pollen Puffs available to my team. But yeah, the Cali Ice was just really weird. I think the start was pretty good. Like, I do think that the early turns were incredible. The only problem was I couldn't break through the Cali Ice quickly. Ironically, the Mon that I left behind, which was the Raging Bolt, would have been a key asset to this because Rising Voltage would have probably just out damaged the Cali Ice in general. I didn't expect to like maneuver against a Miraidon as easily as I did. So yeah, I guess there were a few things that I could have considered. I guess I just don't think Terra Dark Amoonguss got me out of that. I think maybe I had to switch out Instant to go out into... Maybe I should have switched out Instant to go Cali Ice and Terra Fired my Groudon. I think that might have been what was necessary. Because then I can Imprison, Pollen Puff up my Mons with Amoonguss later on. Yeah, that might have been better. I think instead of switching out to Groudon. But yes, I think I should have switched out the Instant instead of the Groudon. But I wasn't sure who to fake I was going out to, but it makes sense. It was starting the Instant, I think. Our Trick Room, Smeargle, Calyrex, Ice Rider, the NDD with Torkoal, Lunala, and the Alcremie. Alright. Actually, I don't think this is that bad. I do have Lumberry Cali Ice, which is actually really good here. Unironically, this is actually really good here. I'm gonna bring Cali Ice. I just wish I had a way to change terrain, because changing terrain would be so good here. My Instant's not helping too much. I don't really need Amoonguss. I mean, Amoonguss Pollen Puff is helpful. Do I need Flutter? It's not necessary. Raging Bolt's okay. The problem is if I don't bring either of these, I don't have a Protect Mon. but I think that's probably worth it because I think Pollen Puff Moon is just really good here. I mean, I'm just going to do Calyrex Ice Instant, Amoonguss, and Groudon. I think this is fine. My Terra plan will probably be Terra on the Cali Ice. The problem with Hard Trick Room is they tend to run close combat, right, on Cali Ice. I guess that will be actually difficult, but I can imprison a Trick Room if I get the opportunity, so we'll see. As I do lead the Incin plus the Calyrex Ice versus Calyrex Ice Smeargle, which is not too surprising. I will go for the Imprison play. The question is, what am I doing with Incin? Like, who am I clicking Fake Out against? Clear Amulet on the Cali Ice is not surprising. I could U-turn. Or not U-turn. It's a bit strange. I feel like I always Imprison. I just Fake Out the Cali Ice. I'm gonna Fake Out my Incin, which is fine. Okay, this actually works, because I do get the Imprison off. High horsepower. Their Cali Ice is fast. All right, as I do Imprison. Okay, this actually works. This actually works. Because now I can go for Glacial Lance and I can go for a swap to Amoonguss, and I don't have to worry about... Okay, so if it's high horsepower, I don't have to really worry about too much damage. So now with that Imprison, the Cali Ice is shut down, at least from using Glacial or Trick Room. Unless this is triple attack Cali Ice, I should be in an okay spot. They probably Decorate or they Spore here. Spore is more ideal, of course, because of the fact that if they go for the Spore, I do have the Amoonguss that's coming in pretty safely here. And I have a Lumberry on my Cali Ice, which I didn't think it would actually come into play. Bring the Amoonguss in. We're gonna see Terastallization come out, which is surprising. What are you Terastallizing? Very Terra on the Cali Ice. I mean, I guess for Flare Blitz, but weren't you fast? I mean, I guess you didn't confirm you're faster than my Incin. They do Spore, but I do have a Lumberry, and they just made themselves vulnerable to Glacial Lance. Horsepower actually did some decent damage though. Oh, Unnerve. I keep forgetting. This is why I don't believe in the Lumberry set. I just don't believe in the Lumberry set. I'm just going to Spore a Cali Ice, because I'm pretty sure Decorating the high horsepower won't KO, and I also have Rage Powder. I mean, I think they still attempt to Decorate the Cali Ice, but we'll see. Yeah. So they're boosted, but I'm pretty sure Amoonguss hangs on barely. Like, barely. Oh, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm a fraud. Alright, we do wake up at least, and we are able to get the Glacial Lance off. Also, the Smeargle is actually faster than the Cali Ice, which is surprising. Because usually it's the Cali Ice that is slower. Alright. I mean, we go Groudon here, I suppose. That'd be really weird. I mean, this is playable, but this is still really weird. They have Wide Guard? Decorate, Fake Out, Follow Me, Spore. Nah, they don't have Wide Guard, probably. I'm just going to Glacial Lance, and I'm just going to go for Precipice Blades. They are fast Smeargle. Like, really fast Smeargle. Okay. Groudon's faster than the Cali, which is not surprising. I get a good Blades off, so Smeargle goes down. And they higher horsepower my Cali. My Cali actually took that a lot better than I expected. Alright. Inity coming in. They can't Trick Room ever. I guess I just Glacial Lance. I think I high horsepower, because high horsepower does a bit more damage than spread Precipice Blades. And I think that extra damage might be enough to KO the Cali. Yeah, I didn't think they followed me. High horsepower. Oh, that's, yo. Oh, that's bad. Heal pulse. I lived that? That roll was insane. Wait, that's massive because I get a glacial lance off. Groudon, I'm begging you. You have one move to hit. Literally one move. One move to hit. Just hit this Precipice Blades, man. Just hit this Precipice Blades. Okay, you don't have to hit it this time. But you have to hit it the next turn. I'm watching Groudon. Precipice Blades into the Indie. Does connect. A Psychic, that's fine. What's silly is we might still lose the end game, but we'll see. Bring out the Ensign. I mean, we go for a knock on the Indie and Precipice Blades always. Yeah, there's no other play. That high horsepower range was insane because it was like 107 for the first one and then 97 for the other one. So I think they got like min-max rolls, but sure. I'm debating. I'm just playing it out because like there is not much that I have to think about. I am clicking Blades here always, and I'm clicking knockoff. Nice. I do land the Blades into the Cali Ice. We do KO the Cali Ice and the Indie. So now it's down to the last Mom. We're going to get our Citrus Berry back. It's just so funny because I'm like, oh, we finally have a use for Lumberry. And then it's like against the Cali Ice. And then I just realized, oh, yeah, I am just not a Lumberry fan. Citrus Berry will heal the Ensign as we say goodbye to the Indie. And then final Mon is going to be Lunala. This is the problem. Lunala is actually kind of oh, now Creamy. Oh, we're fine then. We are fine. Flare Blades, Terra Fire, Heat Crash. Not gonna be forfeit. Okay. They were really relying a lot on their Cali Ice. See, Imprison did kind of slow them down, yet it's funny because we have body press for the Zama. If we just had high horsepower, like the game was definitely like over. Like they banked everything on the Cali Ice, and when the Cali Ice wasn't able to do its thing, it was able to do its thing. I think the only thing is I should have redirected with Rage Powder the attacks from the Decorate Smeargle, because yeah, I didn't realize that my Amoonguss was going down. I think it was kind of, oh no, I think it was close. I think it was close, but maybe I just maybe I miscalculated because I was like about 138. I'm like one at like 219. Yeah, maybe I miscalculated. I think the damage. I think I did, but luckily, you know what? Damage rolls. All right, let's go over to games. In game one, a life of using restricted Pokemon using non-accurate attacks, but they did risk their Miraidon to be fair. Like an Icy Wind in the Precipice Blaze could have just got rid of the Miraidon straight away if I had a faster Groudon. And since I did have an Assaulvus Groudon, I was going to be able to let the Draco Meteor still get pretty heavy damage. And I did have Pollen Puff Amoonguss. However, yeah, they didn't really have much for the Groudon, and I was just able to get away with like taking no damage because of the Draco miss, even though I did miss a few blades afterward. In game two, very dangerous hyper offense team with an early blades miss, but calling the Calyrex Protect to get the damage onto Terapagos was massive, and not seeing a double protect from the Calyrex helped to secure the win. In game three, I thought this was a rematch because it's a deja vu, but similar team and name with the same lead. Other than the Glacial Lance knocking out Fluttermane, which was a miscalc for me, I think I felt I had a solid endgame plan once I stalled the Trick Room out so I could pin the Raging Bolt and just secure the win. In game four, a very slow-paced game, but the Imprison Body Press Calyrex Ice made their lives miserable because the Zamazenta couldn't do anything, and next to Amoonguss, I was just able to deny my opponent from getting good momentum throughout the entire match. In game 5, funny Groudon mirror with Blades being Blades, though it was shocking to see them locking the Dazzling Gleam, but a Trick Room earlier would have been better for me because it actually was scary if they actually decided to go with a better attack with Miraidon, as not going for the Trick Room and going for the Glacial Lance KO into the Groudon made things awkward against the Raging Bolt. I thought it was going to be Iron Hands and I didn't want to set up the Trick Room, but if I had gone for Trick Room, I think it would have been a much easier endgame. In Game 6, not a bad start, preventing screens from being around and knocking out the Grimmsnarl, but my Incineroar got a bit too low and messed up on the switching order. I probably should have switched out the Incineroar. I had to call the Fake Out target, but I did get it wrong and forgot about the threat of Leech Seed Calyrex that was able to beat my remaining Pokemon, since I did not get a Toxic up onto the Calyrex Ice Rider. And even though I was preventing them from going for any physical attacks with the Glacial Lance because of the Imprison, yeah, like they're still able to win because I wasn't able to damage them enough back. In Game 7, this is why Lumberry isn't used in the format, kids. Definitely should have Rage Powdered as well, since the +2 high horsepower did finish off the Amoonguss, which would have allowed me to stall out a turn. But luckily, Groudon was able to clutch up every Precipice Blades, and they only brought Calyrex Ice Rider, so they were really relying heavily on Calyrex Ice Rider. But thanks to the Imprison on my Calyrex Ice Rider, they weren't able to go for Glacial Lances and was forced to just go for high horsepowers, which took several turns to get damage. So how was the team? It's definitely an interesting team for sure. The bulky Calyrex Ice Rider was definitely a new one. I'm not sure about how I feel about the Lumberry set in general, but I do think that Assault's Groudon, it's not the worst mon. I think it was a good call when Miraidon was pretty much super common. It is still very common Pokemon now. However, I did think that the Groudon did make sense for the time period it was in. I think that this team did have some pretty good just general tools as well, so it could be pretty flexible and just has really big tank support with just being able to sponge up attacks because of the natural bulk of all of these Pokemon. If you'd like to try out the team, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out, and if not, you can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.